Hey y'all, good evening. All right, I just have a quick message that I want to deliver right now. I couldn't even move further without getting on here and just I gotta give God some praise. Now, many of you that know me know that I'm far from the religious type. I'm far from the indoctrination and all these different religious principles and things like that. But I had to get on here to give my God some praise. Now, mind you, I posted a picture of myself, an old picture of myself when I went to jail like 2 years ago. And so right now I'm supposed to be locked up, right? I have a warrant on me right now for an old DUI debt. So I'm supposed to be locked up right now. I've been paying on it, and I could have just paid it off, but I've just been taking my time because I'm trying to move my business to, a completely different phase. So I'm working on some things, but I just couldn't stop. I couldn't move forward without getting on here and telling y'all how good God has been to me since I've been back here. God has been so good to me. I'm supposed to be locked up right now. I just got pulled over by the state trooper. I just left my home. Not even 2 minutes away from where I live, I got pulled over because I was swerving. I was trying to text a customer and I was driving and I wasn't looking at the road. So, I got pulled over. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to go to jail. So I went ahead and called my children at home. I was like, hey, y'all hold it down. I'm about to go to jail, y'all. Let me try to get this figured out real quick. So I'm panicking and I'm like, dang, what am I going to do? I got orders to take out today. These people aren't going to get their orders. I'm trying to make moves. I'm trying to do all this stuff. So the state trooper comes to the car. He didn't speak. He said, driver's license and registration, please. So I'm like, oh my God. I started fumbling. I gave him my driver's license and he was like, yeah, I caught you swerving back there twice. So I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah, I dropped my phone. I had to pick it up. And he was like, where are you headed to? I was like, I'm just leaving home. So he was like, all right, go ahead and look for your insurance and bring it to my car when you're done. So I'm like, oh my God. I get on the phone trying to make phone calls. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to go to jail. So I don't know. I went to reach for my insurance, and I'm just looking and I'm fumbling through papers and everything. I'm just nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to go to jail. That's all I kept telling myself. So I got the insurance paper. I got out the car and I brought it back to him. He was like, all right, let me check it out. Give me just a minute. So I went back to the car. I called my daughter. I'm like, hey, y'all just hold everything down. I'm about to go to jail, this and that. And she was like, okay, Mama. And I was like, let me see what I can do. So I couldn't even think straight. He came back to the car and he came to the passenger side of the car, let the window down. And he says, how come you don't have a Alabama driver's license? And he was like, how long have you been here? I said, I've been here like 7-8 months. And then he was like, well, you're supposed to have an Alabama driver's license by now. And I was like, well, I'm going to be leaving here soon. So, I just came here to tie up some loose ends. And so he was like, well, hey, if you don't mind me asking, he was like, what do you do for a living? And I said, well, I'm an herbalist and I formulate different products for people that deal with certain types of ailments. And he was like, oh, really? It was like, me and my wife are into, holistic stuff and things like that. He was like, you heard of Dr. Sabe? I was like, yeah. So as the conversation went forward, he was like, well, if you don't mind, he was like, look, I'm just going to write you a warning for today. I'm going to write you a warning. I'm going to write my number on this citation sheet. And he was like, me and my wife are gonna, stay in touch with you. And I was just amazed. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, well, I have a spot, right down the road from here. And I was like, you'll see the banner up and you could just stop by and check out some of the products. It was like, yeah, most definitely. It was like, thank you so much. And it was nice meeting you and all of this. So I was just so ecstatic. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So the whole time I'm sitting up here trying to get stuff together, trying to make phone calls, thinking that I'm about to go to jail. I'm about to contact. And so I was about to like contact some customers and let them know, hey, you know, I had a situation go on, you know, we're going to have to do a rain check. As I was about to do all of this, the Most High covered me. He covered me. Okay. I owe these people like what? Maybe $600 more. He covered me. So just the thought that I was about to leave here today and be handcuffed and then have to postpone people's orders and things like that, I just had to get on here and say God will truly prevail. He will truly. My God is so good. My God is so good. I mean, it's just so crazy. I said, I'm going to stop what I'm doing right now. I got to give him some praise. Because just in that small amount of time where I thought everything is just about to go wrong for the day, he came through and made sure that I was good. He covered me. He covered me, and I appreciate him so much. I appreciate God so much for everything that he's been doing. And it's not just about me. God is making moves in a lot of people's lives. People are leaving here left and right. But God is doing some real good magic. People think they got to go on the other end to do some magic. No, all you have to do is tap into the Most High. He'll show you who you are. He'll show you exactly what you need to be doing. He'll show you what direction you need to go. A lot of people want to be so spiritual and highly, you know, just into all these other things. But the only thing you have to do is take it to the Most High. For years, I was searching for that relationship. I was searching for that comfort. I was wanting to know, what is it that people are talking about? God will make a way. I don't see God making a way. I don't see God doing nothing in my life. I felt some type of way. And it took me all the way to just almost becoming an atheist. Do you hear me? I was almost an atheist. Well, you can say that because I didn't have a belief at all. My belief was just into some witchcraft shit. You know? I was into that. I did witchcraft for what? 3-4 years? Because I thought that was the way. I'm spiritual, but guess what? God had to do some fine-tuning with me. He had to do some fine-tuning with me. He brought me all the way back. All the way back. Backwards. He brought me everything that I had. I lost. I lost. Friends. Relationships. Cars. Everything. And I moved all the way to a completely different state. Running from myself. Didn't even know I was running from myself. I ran from myself. I wasn't happy. I just knew something was wrong with my life. Do you hear me? Something was wrong with my life. And I didn't understand what I was going through. I just knew deep down I was so depressed. I was so hurt. People had hurt me so much. They took me down through there. And I mean brutally. My heart was just crushed and I stopped believing in people. I just shut down. I shut down on life. I quit communicating with people. God took everything away from me for a reason. And I didn't understand. I thought I was being punished for something. I couldn't understand. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I don't try to hurt anybody. I don't have any intentions on, you know, doing anything malicious. I'm a good person. I try to help people in any way I can. I give my time. Like, what did I do so bad? But then he started speaking to me. And at first I thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy. I just couldn't comprehend it. I'm like, man, something is going on. I don't get this. He brought me all the way back to Alabama. All the way back to Alabama to start my own movement. I tried to get it started in Florida and I was having a hard time in hell. He said, no, that ain't how I want you to do that. I need you to come all the way back where you started. The place where people told you that you weren't going to amount to anything. The place where people shut the doors in your face. The place where rejection lived. The place where you got hurt. The place where you got beat. The place where people didn't find no joy, no nothing in you. The place where people brought you down all the way to nothing. I want you to come back to this place. I want you to revisit, no matter how painful it may be. The place where you were cast aside. The place where people talk about you like a dog. The place where people think they really know you and they don't. They don't know your heart. They don't know your intentions. They don't know the good things I'm about to place inside of you so you can deliver it to these people. That's what I'm bringing you back to. He told me to get ready. I need you to arm up. I need you to get ready. I need you to show people what you really have on the inside of you. And I was like, I'm scared. I'm afraid. I don't know what to do, God. Please help me. I don't know what to do. People gonna think I'm crazy. He said, I'm gonna put you out there. I'm gonna show you what to do. He started telling me what to make, what products to make, giving me ideas in my dreams. I would wake up out of my sleep and write down product information out of nowhere. I want you to put this together. I want you to make this. I want you to get out there in your yard, and I want you to hustle. So that's exactly what me and my children have been doing every single day. I don't have a job. I haven't worked in 12 months. I haven't worked since I've been in Florida. I came back here. We were making $20 a day. $20. I would have my children to go and sit outside in my yard. And not knowing how we were going to pay rent, not knowing how we were going to pay the power bill, not knowing how we were going to pay the water bill, not knowing how I was going to put gas in my car. I didn't know how we were going to eat. Slowly but surely, people started coming. I only had a few products at that time, and I was like, this ain't enough. This is not enough. What can I do with this? God said, work with what you got. Work with what you got. A part of me wanted to go back and do spells, start doing witchcraft again. A part of me wanted to go back to that old me. And he said, no, I don't want you to do that. That ain't the direction I want you to go. He said, because you're mine. You're mine. You belong to me. And I'm going to show you exactly what to do. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, I got this. And it's hard as it has been for me since I've been back. One thing that I do have is endurance. I'm going to keep pushing. And I've been delivering. And he's been showing me just so much. And he said, I'm not done yet. So I had to come from my lowest place. And I had to rebuild. He brought me all the way back down to zero just to rebuild. And so I tell people, you may look at another person and think that they have it good. You may look at another person and see that they're on top, or they got this and they got that, but you don't know where that person had to come from. I don't mind sharing my story because I have so much more. I have so much more to offer. But people don't know what you had to go through, or what place you had to be brought from to get where you have to be. Because running a business is so hard. It's not just about giving people what they want, but you have to deal with different personalities. You have to give in, you have to talk to people and all these different things. I'm not a big talker. I'm not the type to really get on here and express myself like that a lot. I've just been pushed. When God says, hey, you need to speak, then I get on and I speak. But I just had to come on here and give him some praise. I had to let people know. I had to let y'all know all those little details, because people don't know. They have no idea. People really just don't know. But I'm just so thankful that I don't know. I'm just so thankful. I had to get on here. And just thank him. Because as quick as I just could have been locked up, he covered me. And I appreciate him so much. Because when everyone else failed and everybody else, threw the deuces or didn't have time for me, or was too busy talking about my struggle, too busy, talking about me and yeah, she's going through this and she done this and done that. My God was there. He was there. And I just thank him so much for just delivering me from this situation. I had to get on here. I couldn't drive no further. I had to pull my car over and just talk about how good God is, y'all. And it may seem like it just may seem blank to some other people. It may seem like, oh, that's not true. God won't do that. God is not going to do this. I've had people tell me that, no, God's not going to talk to you like that. God is not going to. You know for sure when God speaks to you, because he'll have his own personal relationship with you. He'll show you things. He may not speak to you, but he will show you things. He'll give you signs. You may feel that internal feel on the inside. You feel that voice, or you may just get this little unction. You're going to feel something, and you're going to know that, okay, yeah, this is what I need to be doing, or I don't need to do that. But that's just how powerful he is. Somebody just a few days ago put $100 in my mailbox. I have no idea who it is to this day. I mean, I get these great blessings just out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because people see, what we're trying to do. They see what we're trying to do. We work hard on holidays and all. I don't care what day it is. I'm never closed. But I just had to get on here. I just had to speak on the greatness of God. I had to speak on his greatness because I just want him to continue to work through me. After being attacked through the enemy in so many ways, and working for the enemy when you don't even realize you're working for the enemy. Like I said, so many people come to me and they try to talk on this spiritual language and talking about these other deities and things like that. I don't want to hear that, because I'm not with it. I know whose I am now, so I don't want to hear it. I know whose I am, for sure. And I know exactly what he needs for me to do. And I came back here to do just that. You have to be careful, because when you're working for the enemy and not knowing it, and you're thinking that you're setting a trap for somebody else, people are casting spells and doing things like that on people. You think that you're doing something to that person, you're really digging it for yourself. You're digging your own grave for yourself. Trying to make holes for other people to fall into, you're doing it for yourself. Because people think it's cute. They think it's cute to participate in spirituality, learning about all of these other things, and it's not going to bring you closer to the Most High. You're being separated. You're being cut off from God when you do that. And I didn't understand that at that time. You're being cut off from God. You don't need tools. You don't need tools at all. You don't need tarot cards. You don't need candles. I don't care what they say. You don't need none of those things, to be honest. The only thing you need to do is use your tongue. That's where your magic lies. Your power is already within you through the source of God. That's your power. That's the real power. So when you got people out here telling you that you got to do this and you got to do that to make somebody stay in a relationship with you, or you got to do certain things to get somebody off of you, to keep people from messing with you, you don't even have to do that. You have to give it over to the Most High. That's your source. And I had to learn that through my own personal experience. That's your source. Because he's going to take care of everything. He's going to take care of everything. And I mean everything. And I know that for a fact. Because every single time when I was worried about, God, how am I going to pay this man his rent? How am I going to do this? When I know for a fact I'm being watched every single day. People don't know what I went through. They have no idea what I went through. They have no idea, but the story is coming. The book is coming. Because I'm definitely going to publish that. I have so much to tell, but I just know I have so much that I have to offer to people. I have so much. Because I gave my entire life. My entire life was a sacrifice. Did I want to do it? No, I did not. No, I did not. I had to sacrifice the hardest things of my life. just for him to use me. Just for him to use me. I was afraid. I was 1 foot out and 1 foot in. Nothing matters at all. When God wants you, he'll pull you. He'll pull you away from everything. And you may not even understand it. You'll lose everything that you possess. If you think those things are important. I've never been materialistic like that. But God had his own way of dealing with me. I was hard-headed. I didn't listen. I wanted to do what I felt like was right for me. But he showed me a completely different way. And I understand now that that was his love. That was his way of showing me, no, child. You went into the wrong direction because you didn't know who you were. You were lost. You were blind. You were in search of yourself, but you were supposed to be in search of me first. You were too lazy. You were too lazy. He says, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, and all things shall be brought unto you. All things shall be brought when you search the kingdom of heaven first. We want all these things to go right. We want all these things. Whatever our desires are, we want these things to be brought unto us. But you got to seek that kingdom first. How do you seek the kingdom? Using that tongue and using your eyes. Not searching, going out here in different places, but looking at what he already gave you. You got to look at what he already gave you, and it's on the inside of you. He gave you a tongue for a reason, to call out to him. Use that tongue to call out to him instead of giving your energy to all these different things that don't mean you any good. That's going to circle you right back. But you'll just see. He'll circle you all the way around, right back to your starting point. So meanwhile, while you think the friends are important, while you think the other things in life that you're doing are important, trying to get back at people, wasting your time talking about somebody to this person and that person, participating in all these different endeavors that don't mean you any good, you're taking yourself to a dead end. You're wasting your time. Because he wants you to communicate to him. That's what I had to learn. He wants you to communicate with him. He don't want you to put anybody else before him. He don't want you to go and take things into your own hands. Trying to get back at people or trying to show people that, because they did this to me, now I'm going to show them that I'm going to get them back. No, he don't want you to do that. Because then you're directing the energy back into yourself. So that means you're going to have to pay for doing what you did instead of just allowing God to work in that person's life and to punish them. So I don't even waste my time trying to show people where they went wrong. And a lot of you have been hurt. I know I've been hurt, but a lot of you have been hurt tremendously, and you feel like you need to pay somebody back, or you feel like you need to do something that's out of your character just to show your bravery, but you don't have to do that. It's already taken care of. It's not going to be on your time, but it's going to be on his time. You never know. The same people that hurt you have to come back crawling, kneeling at your footstool. Now, doesn't the word say that as well? I know I'm covered. I get tried and tested all the time. All the time. Because the enemy wants you to go back to that place where you used to be. The enemy wants you to go back to being the person that people thought you were, or try to throw things in your face in order to just make you feel like you haven't grown. People don't know what growth really is. They don't know what growth really is. So the main thing I do is I pray for my enemies. I pray for the people that don't understand me. I pray for the people that have never really developed a true friendship with me or a relationship with me, because I know they've missed out. And if you know me, you know I have a heart of gold. So I just give it over. I give it over to the Most High quick. When I know I used to be quick to respond, quick to fight, quick to get myself involved in a situation where I just could have gone about it a completely different way. If I don't know anything else, I just know that God will show up and show out. The things that people are doing to you in secret, they got to pay for it. Whether you know it or not, they have to pay for it. And you don't have to go back and play tit for tat. You don't have to do that at all. It's already taken care of. It's already taken care of. So I don't waste my time at all. I don't waste my time arguing with people. I don't waste my time trying to prove my worth. I don't waste my time with people that take me for a joke. And even when it comes to my business, I'm not going to waste my time with people. And I get a lot of that, but I'm not going to waste my time. Because I know exactly what I came here to do. And I allow myself to be used as a vessel through the Most High. And that's what makes me feel good when I get up every single day. And I know that I'm doing what I can to reach somebody else's life. To touch somebody in a different way. I make it known every single day to get up and help somebody. And they don't even have to buy a product. I may just have to counsel them. I may just have to give them a word. I may just give them something that I see that is going on in their life and just tell them, hey, XYZ. Everything is not all about $1, but at the same time, not going to be taken advantage of. So, yeah, I just had to get on here. Like I said, I could not move forward without getting on here and just giving him some praise. Because I thank him so much. And I know that God is so good. I know that God is so good. There's a lot of things that I had to do that I didn't want to do. A lot of things that I had to do. A lot of sacrifices that I had to make. And I promise you, it was painful. It was so painful. It took me off course. God even got me to the point where I had to abstain from sex. I haven't had sex in 14 months. 14 months. And I hear everybody else talking about how good their weekend was with their boyfriends and things like that. I haven't had sex in 14 months. And that was a tremendous sacrifice for me because I had never done that before. God said, no, I'm taking you somewhere different. I need to be able to use you. So the things that were just so hard for me in the beginning, I had to learn how to give it up. I had to give my whole entire self up. I had to surrender completely for the things that I truly desire. The things that I really want him to have for me. Not just for what I want for myself, but for what he wants from me. I had to give it all up. And you guys need to learn how to do the same. Develop your relationship with God. If you are uncertain right now, if you are on this live and you are uncertain about some things in your life, if you are feeling confused or apathetic or dismayed and you don't know what direction to go, develop that relationship. Speak it with your tongue, because that's your power. Speak it with your tongue. Some people are so afraid to ask God to remove things from their life. Oh no, not me. I'll ask in a minute. Even if it's a 20-year relationship. If that relationship is not purposed for me to go to a place that's going to elevate me, then I want it removed with all love. So a lot of the things and the people that I used to talk to, they're no longer there because I sacrificed everything. God helps you remove all of those fears, those uncertainties, because he's going to show you. And a lot of times he'll show you in threes. He'll show you 3 different times that you need to move away from a situation. But you have to be the one to pay attention to it. If you don't pay attention to the signs, then it's really at your own fault that you didn't pay attention to the signs that he was giving you. You know, it's so crazy because people would rather go to a deity or whatever and just they're looking for answers. Go to your source. Go directly to your source. Give it over to him. You may not hear or see anything right then, but I guarantee you your answer will be revealed to you. And it's up to you what you choose to do with that answer. Because you were given free will. It's up to you. So either you deny the reality of the situation or you move forward and you accept a new journey. Don't be afraid to go into a new journey, into unknown territory just because you've never been there before. Don't be afraid to do something different. Don't be afraid to step out on faith, because that's exactly what it is when you've never done something, but you want to make a move and you're like, this may not turn out right. So what? You tried. That's what counts, is when you try. I love doing things different. And I know I'm not like anybody else. You have to step out. Step out and declare what it is that you want. And take action. Just a year ago, I wasn't making any money. And I didn't know how my business was going to go. And there were a few customers, and one is on here now, Mrs. Latasha Bryant Watford. She was one of the very first people to put me out there. I didn't really have a customer base. I had a few people that purchased from me, but I wasn't known in the area. And God used her. And then other people. And then Algie. You know? So God uses people to help you to get to where you need to be. I didn't completely have it together, and I still don't. But I do know that I'm going places. So I'm going to end this right there, because I'll get on here and I'll talk forever. But my main point was just to tell you that God is so good. Each and every day. He is so good. And people really need to get with it. They need to get with it. He's blessing all of these small businesses. He's blessing us left and right. You can't play around with your life, because people are leaving here far too soon. But I just know, and other people need to know, you have a mission. You have a purpose. Stop sleeping on your life. Develop that relationship with the Most High and let him use you, just like I did. Because I could have went to jail today. But God, he had me covered. He had me covered. And I thank him for that. And that's my message for today, y'all. Y'all be good.